Hey folks, it's currently 6:30 p.m. on a Monday night, August the 10th. I've been producing videos this past week, but I've been hesitating in uploading them to YouTube, principally because I think I'm evolving into something else. That is, I'm feeling childish somehow about talking about myself in these videos. And I'm going into 9 years of having this Dna-Icuc from Dna-Icuc. Other people have had 13 years, and they're up and coming crankers who have gotten their crank up from source consultants. And I'm thinking, I've basically gone as far as I can with the metaphysicality that I've developed. I can, as evident by the title of my channel, Telepathy for the Deaf and Blind, I can talk to people who are deaf and blind. The problem is I need peer support. I need confirmation from independent scientific evaluation that I can do what I'm doing, and then other people can do the same thing as well. But along the way, ever since last summer, the energy in me that goes through my hands, Jay taught us this, right? You remember that. It's becoming so strong that it's affecting me personally. In the past, I've talked about how when I was fumbling with this stuff, how it was growing inside of me, starting with the hands, making spherical balls or whatever you call them. I happened to generate inadvertently the frequencies that attacked my eardrum, my left eardrum, and it felt like a knife stabbing me. It surprised me so much I recoiled. And I've been very careful ever since to not point this energy, which I can see now. It's all over the place. I can see it in the daytime. I've been making it a point not to pointing it at my ear. And as of last summer, I think, when I went through this normalcy bias awakening, the energy of it is making me go blind in the right ear. I kid you not. It's like, how can I continue to talk about this energy as if it's a metaphysical ability to be acquired? I believe everybody has the ability, but it's how you develop it along the way that makes it more pronounced in your overall metaphysical abilities. So I think I want to walk away from the idea of suggesting that there could be a new communication protocol with the deaf and blind. I can do it. I've been trying to teach people what it is, or show people rather, how I came to be able to cultivate what it is that's inside of me. And there's something about the ability to begin with that's innate. I can recall as a kid that symptomatically I would have, I don't know, twitching in my leg or bruising feelings in my left leg. I do that all the time. With this energy, I can throw it. My legs, my body fasciculates. It tremors or it fluctuates. And there's other things that go on. And I think in comparing the good with the bad, it might be a little bit more safer not to cultivate this energy if I can help it. Well, it's hard to walk away from it even because I have this ability of affecting my ears, and I can feel it every so often when I articulate my fingers. And then I've explained this, the frequencies coming off my fingers. I can feel the shape of this hand in my body, and I can move it just millimeters, and I can feel the change in my body. Kind of like what Jay was telling us. We have these abilities that are so unusual that it's taken me a while to grasp the full context of what it is I can do. I can do things I don't even want to talk about. So I've got this ability to articulate this change, and when I went through normalcy bias last June, right before I had to move, I've been spending a year moving from one city to the next, trying to find internet access, actually. And I found it here, so I'm all hunkered down. I'm going to get a new laptop. I'm going to start this forum that I really want to put out, that everybody can get involved with. So in the face of the ashes of a phoenix dying, that is, I'm going to walk away from the telepathy side. I started last summer to practice ASL, American Sign Language, and the funny thing about this is I discovered along the way that I can't use two hands. I can only use one hand. The issue being, and my deaf friend pointed this out, I'm flipping people off all the time when I'm signing. It's a natural occurrence. I can't change it. It's embedded in me, and it's really rude, I think, for the deaf people to see me do that all the time. They're going to wonder whether I'm really telling them a bad word. And it has to do with a cat that bit me, and my wouldn't let go, and my finger healed like that. So I can't bend it. Anyway, I discovered that, in fact, it is possible to communicate just with one hand. I'm excited about that, from some guy by the name of Randy Dignan, something like that. And from there, I took it a step further. As I was learning the ASL alphabet and learning how to alphabetically sign words, I thought, there's millions of people out there that have problems with their left hand or arm. Why can't I bring this forward as a new protocol to learn for those people who can't articulate with their left hand as well? So I'm doing that. I probably shouldn't get into talking about it so much this way, but I can sign the music. I'm telling you, man, it's so cool. If you get on the internet and you look at the deaf people and how they can sign the music, oh gosh, I wish I could do that. But there's so much to say. I shouldn't get bogged down in talking about this stuff. These videos should be produced in such a light way, such a uncomplicated, not complex way, so that messages, information can be conveyed without all the intricacy, I think, involved. Anyway, I think my best efforts should be put into talking about what it is I went through in the 13 years of living out in the sticks, in the mountains, and how I survived, and showing people through videos or something what it is I went through. Because in effect, all of you that have been cranked up, you're going to have to be the vanguard that Jay's going to rely on. Okay? Please understand this. This is important. You're going to be the vanguard that's going to go forth in community once he crosses over and resets this, this earth, humanity. He's going to rely on you explaining to people what's going on out there. Now, in the past, Jay had, back in April, May of 2020, he talked about stocking up on food, and nobody picked up on it. I never saw a video that was scrambling to get more information from him about why he was introducing the idea of stocking up on food. And it had everything to do, of course, with COVID out there. And I know for a fact that people didn't take him seriously, because I produced an email. I sent it to all the consultants out there that I had email addresses to. Never once got an acknowledgement of what I was trying to do. I was teaching them what one should do to prepare for what could have happened. That is a collapse of the financial system, the fact that there might be issues of being able to acquire food in the stores. And it did happen that, places like Detroit, Los Angeles, Austin, Texas, New York There were shelves that were empty. Well, we've got a situation that is even more worse. Please, please listen. Listen. And believe me that it's better now to prepare for what's going to happen down the pike as opposed to leaving it to what chance that things will work out. Now, please, this is important. There are some of you out there that believe that the ETs might drop ship these food producing machines, and that you may even be transported up to the mothership. And I'm saying this stuff, and people who are GQ public, they're not going to understand what I'm talking about, and they're going to label me as being weird. So just, you folks, just let it go, okay? Just I don't know, ignore what I'm trying to say. But for you folks who've been cranked, there is a motto or a credo in the mountains that 2 is 1, 1 is none. You don't live in the mountains without preparing. You're doubling up on your provisions, your supplies, your resources for those times when one thing doesn't work out as opposed to another. So what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way is, I think you might want to take a real good look at loading up on food and resources to support the idea that logistics may get in the way of having something drop shipped to you that you could rely on. And think about it. It's like I don't expect anything from Jay. I don't expect that. And in fact, if I were to be drop shipped the machine for whatever reason, I'd say, no, give it to somebody who's starving. I feel so bad all the time. I know I'm digressing and, being distracting, but, ever since I was a kid, I'd watched the UNICEF commercials on black and white TV. I was 10 years old, and I'd see the kids in Africa just starving, and it just gets to me. Part of the normalcy bias that I went through this last year, the awakening of it. The other side, I've learned to understand how the other side attacks me. It took a while, but what happened, boy, this video is going to turn out to be a long one. Maybe not. What it is was because I can only gain access to the internet by going to the local library 13 miles away, and that was problematic in itself. I still produce videos, but I would get there, and I happen to see a picture of a child's arm sticking out of the rubble of a wall that collapsed from a bomb in the Gaza Strip. And it hurt. And folks, in the past, Jay has said, that's because you have heart. Well, it's more than that. It's more than that. And I know I look like a girl, but I feel connected. I feel connected with the people out there all around me, and I can't help it. That's why I originally moved to the mountains. I can't help but feel in the people. And it has, where's that book? I had a book that explains this. There is a trait that we cultivate as we move along in the evolution of our metaphysicality. I should have been prepared for this. This is so important. For example, when I look at, I'm forgetting my words. This is the other side messing with me. This is the other side. When I telepathically, when I look forward, gosh, I can't believe this. I'm not embarrassed. I'm just saying that this is what I go through all the time. Where is that book? That I'm embarrassed about. I should have been prepared. But I've found out recently that a major part of what I do in remote viewing is I feel all my 5 senses are part of that experience. I go into like Mount Hood, for example, and right there's a dock on the left-hand side, the ship's dock, and I can taste the tile. I can smell it. I can smell the atmosphere around me. And what's that term? I'm sorry, I blew it here. The impact of what I wish to say it and isn't as great as it could be. I am going to synchro something or other. Sorry. I'm going to be posting links to what it is that I'm just realizing now of what I can do when I remote view. But from there, I now recognize that everything I look at, I'm tasting. Like I'm a kid tasting sand or something. I'm tasting all this stuff. And stuff I haven't put in my mouth ever. Everywhere I look, I can taste it. This is, gosh darn it. Where's that book? I'm going to look for that book. Excuse me, hold tight. Gosh darn it. Fucking. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Can't find it. What did I do with it? Boy, is this stupid of me. That's okay. I don't mind. What did I do with it? What can I say? I'll follow up in another video and talk about this. Synth something or other. Anyway, everybody has this experience, I believe, when they've been cranked up. It expands the experience of remote viewing and then whatever else you go through as you're looking at life. So in my case, I taste something a split second before I look at it, and I can't believe it. How can I have the taste experience of something I have never put put in my mouth? And no, I'm all over the place. I recognize. It's the way it goes sometimes. I am going to produce this video, and laugh at me all you want. It's just part of the narrative experience. And I'm going to get better at this. I'm going to be able to produce videos that'll show people how to come up to speed with regard to preparing for this reset. And just be patient. I'm going to smooth out my narrative persona as I go along, okay? It's just the way it goes. There's so much more to talk about. I can talk forever. So please, just be patient. I'm going to sign off. Be good, be kind, give back to community. It's going to make all the difference in your life when this reset goes through. So have a great night. What else can I say? Talk to you later. Bye.